We shouldn't have taken this shout, George.
Thought your complaints interview was until 10:30.
Yeah, that's 10:30 looking smart, not covered in soot.
I also thought you said that any copper who didn't have a few complaints against him wasn't doing his job properly.
Yeah, well, it would help if you told me what you said at the complaints unit, wouldn't it? Sierra Oscar from 340 receiving, over.
You shouldn't need any help, Dave. Not if you stick to the truth.
June. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
Any chance of somebody else help me, George, with this one, Skip?
Yeah, Sierra Oscar 85 already on their way.
And the latest is there are no injuries, but that the 3 female occupants are distressed, I understand.
Now you tell us. I want to be out of here in 10, George. Distressed women or not.
About time. Do you know what I've had to put up with? Do ya? I hope you're going to do something about them.
It's all yours, Dave.
You got a date, Reg?
Oh, no, I'm waiting for Dave Quinlan, aren't I?
Don't worry, your secret's safe with me.
No, he's due up at area about a complaint. I'm going to be his friend.
Hey?
His friend, you know, his advisor in legal matters. Sit by his side like a brief and shake my head when they ask him a few questions.
Oh, yeah, that's a Phil Garrett complaint, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. He reckons Dave gave him a dig when he arrested him.
Drunken little toad who got off suspended, having called out half the relief on a hoax call.
Yeah, and an insurance fraud.
Hey?
Yeah, got suspended for that, no?
It makes you wonder why we bother.
Of course, the trouble is that Garrett fell over at the time, didn't he? Give himself 6 stitches. Dave is going to have to prove that he didn't use excess force.
Well, did he?
Well, not if it's going to give him 1,000 nick a fine, no.
I've been trying to flog my house for 9 months without a sniff. Yeah, and it's all because of them. I mean, who wants to live next door to the likes of them?
Right, mate, sure.
Yeah, and they even tried to burn the place down now. It's unbelievable.
Question is, what are you going to do about it?
Right.
Absolutely.
I'm going to speak with my colleagues.
They shouldn't let them out women like that.
George Cavalry's here, Bunglesy, please.
Good luck, Dave.
Wait, we had the big one rooting through the bins after yesterday, and another one singing after night.
All right, mate. No, it's not all right. How do you like Steve?
Excuse me, please. Some woman tried to cook their breakfast on the mattress. 3 ex-psychiatric patients released into the care of the community.
Oh, terrific.
They should be put away.
Sure they should, you're quite right.
Except the community doesn't care a whole bunch.
Yeah, exactly. And the women inside the house are refusing to leave.
Don't blame them.
You scared of them or something?
Yeah, you can see what they've done to the place, can't you?
So get them out.
Absolutely.
Why should we pay taxes?
Right,
first?
That's right, they're sick, aren't they?
They're too right now. Yeah, and who's the mug who's got to live next door to them, eh? Right.
I'll take care of the Sisters of Mercy. You go and start talking to the women.
Right, officer, what's going to be...
Right, ladies and gentlemen, shall we all just calm down?
Message from the Met solicitors at Wellington House, Dave.
They want to see you after the complaints interview.
You're joking!
It's about the Garrett's civil claim for damages, I think, Dave.
Damages? Tell him I'll get there as soon as I can, June.
Where are you?
Good question. Tell Reg he's got 15 seconds to finish whatever he's doing.
Hello, police officers.
Good place for a fryer.
Yeah, just a job, eh?
They've lodged themselves in the back. See if you can budge them, will you? I've got to ventilate the room.
Right.
After you, George.
Oh, thanks. You all right, love? Have you got somewhere to go? Because you can't stay here, you know?
I want to go back to my room.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's a very good idea.
I want to stay in my room.
Sarah, is there someone we can call to get you looked after?
Come and sit down, lovey. I want to stay in my room.
Sierra Oscar 577.
Go ahead, Barry.
Can you get the social services for me?
No! Sarah!
Now do you believe me?
All right, Mr. North.
They're sent out into the care of the community, ain't they? Yeah. But whose community, eh?
Oh,
Right.
That's far enough.
How do you think we feel with that lot next door?
Well, at home, I shouldn't wonder.
That's nice.
Look, no one's going to take you anywhere. We just need to find out how the fire started, and then we can take you somewhere safe.
Is there a warden who looks after you?
She doesn't like the side effects,
How about a particular community psychiatric nurse?
so she's been avoiding her.
Still trying social services for you, Barry.
The house does belong to the local authority, but I can't raise a key social worker for the residents.
Right, yeah, thanks.
Thanks, June.
Is there a particular community psychiatric
No, Constable, there isn't a particular CPN, and I'm an ex-alcoholic, not brain dead.
Shall I have a chat, George? Why don't you go downstairs, make a list of the damage, get the place secure?
Yeah, sure.
And I'll try getting onto the council yourself, Barry. Is it all right if we use your phone, love?
Certainly, it's downstairs.
Right. Now then, my name's Tony. You're not in trouble, and I'm not arresting you. In fact, I'm not even cross. So why don't we get out of here and go and talk about what happened? All right? Come on, love.
Not content with his complaints, our pal Garrett decides he deserves a few quid for being so legless he falls over and cuts his head.
Yeah, well, that's a civil court's for, innit, mate?
Now, Joe, it's bad enough fanning around all morning at the complaints unit without having to waste this afternoon talking to a brief.
Yeah, well, don't worry about this morning, Dave. I've spoken to the Federation solicitor. I've got the perfect defence for you, mate. State of the art.
We're here to give us a normal life. Sarah suffers from schizophrenia, but she's already spent 4 years as a voluntary patient. She doesn't want to be institutionalised at her age.
So we look after her. I've only got depression. I'm OK so long as I take my medication.
And I just need the company.
What happened this morning, then?
Well, Sarah's been on a lower dose of her drugs recently because she doesn't like the side effects.
I hate them. You can't talk properly, you can't see properly.
Well, it zombifies you if you're on too much. I mean, it's not nice for a young girl.
And then I'm afraid she decided to try and do without all her drugs. She threw them away.
We tried to find them as soon as she told us. I spent the morning going through the dustbins.
And then I had a bad night. A terrible night.
Is that when you started the fire, Sarah?
No, that was this morning.
Go on, love.
I wanted to make it up to Mary and Brenda, and it all went wrong. I wanted to make some breakfast for a surprise. So I took the electric frying pan up into my bedroom, and then I went back downstairs for the food. And I just forgot what I was doing. And then I saw the fire, so I tried to put it out with the duvet. But...
So you've got no medication now?
Their key social worker's off sick, Tony. Social services said they'd send someone, didn't say when.
Yeah, so no we're here, don't they?
Yeah, and Renton Mob are still outside. This will be fun.
Ray North and his son. I don't know what we've ever done to them.
Oh, he's a closet paranoiac, if you ask me, Mary.
So, what are we going to do then, eh?
Sarah's frightened that you're going to take her back to the hospital.
That's not up to me, I'm afraid.
All she wants to do is stay here with us.
You never had your breakfast, did you, ladies? What about a fry up back in the nick while we get this sorted, eh?
PC Quinn and Sun Hill.
PC Quinnan, Sergeant Masters.
Yes, sorry I'm late.
Reg Hollis, the Federation representative.
Hollis, Chief Inspector Hutchinson is expecting you, if you'd like to follow me, please. Get called out in the shout, did you?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Shouldn't keep you too long, Mr. Quinlan. Take a mic each and put them on your lapel.
How? Clip-ons, eh? Yeah. Don't get none of this down at Sun Hill. I can get a fresh tape half the time. Isn't that right, David?
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
The van's here, so we should be within about 15, Sarge. I think we might need a divisional surgeon too, if someone shows up from social services.
Is that for a sectioning order, Tony?
Affirmative, Sarge.
This complaint arises from the arrest of Philip Allen Garrett on the charge of making a hoax call to the emergency services. Now, just to get the record straight, you were the arresting officer on the 15th of August, weren't you, Mr. Quinlan?
Oh, was so, yes.
Right. Perhaps you'd like to start by giving us your account of the events leading up to the arrest of Mr. Garrett. Well?
I'm not saying anything.
There you go, sir. That is our solicitor's advice, I'm afraid.
Interview suspended.
Can I have a word with you outside, son? Off the record.
Well, David, I don't think you should. Any danger of a cup of coffee, sir?
Listen, Garrett isn't cooperating.
What?
He won't talk to us, so the complaint can't be substantiated.
Well, what am I doing here, then?
Helping us, partially. Look, the evidence that we collect gets passed on to the Met solicitors to defend the damages case against you.
Oh, why didn't you say so? I felt like I was going through the 3rd degree now.
Partially, I said. The other part is trying to find out whether you overstepped the mark. What? Or whether there's going to be a disciplinary action against you.
Garrett's a villain, you know. He couldn't have been more out of order if he'd have smacked me in the mush.
So tell us about it, then. Tell us your side of it.
I want to speak to Reg first.
surgeon has been informed, Tony.
Thanks, Sarge.
Why have you called a doctor?
Come on, ladies.
Hope you're arresting her.
No, Mr. North.
Why not? What about arson?
Out of the way.
Well, what
please.
about me? My house. Why should anyone have to live next to this?
It's not deliberate, mate.
I hope you're pleased with yourself, you stupid blasted woman.
Out of the way.
You shouldn't be out.
You nut, there's a lot of you.
Don't be stupid, Ray.
You should all be locked up where you belong.
Why can't you leave us alone?
Why can't you go and live somewhere else?
Grow up, Ray.
A quiet word, pal.
Get off it.
You, stay there.
In the first place, you're obstructing a police officer in the course of his duty. In the second, why don't you find someone your own size to pick on, if that's biologically possible? And the third, I should have a good look at yourself in the mirror before you go around accusing other people of behaving like nutters, okay?
I'll make a complaint.
You do that.
So what do I say? If I tell him Garrett didn't offer any violence, I might get done for using too much force.
Yeah, well, he did get 6 stitching.
Well, if I say he did offer violence, Garfield's statement might call me a liar for all I know.
Yeah, precisely. Very inconsiderate of him.
So what do I say?
Well, you'll just have to make a guess and hope that it's right.
Right, are we safe enough now, ladies? I'll get you tucked up in the waiting room.
Oh, is that where we're going to have our breakfast?
It's just until someone comes along from social services.
Mary.
But we are free to go, aren't we?
Yeah. Look, Barry, I'll catch up in a minute, mate.
Right you are, yeah. Come on, Sarah. This is where we're going to have our breakfast, in here. Oh, looks like we missed it.
Obviously, you and Brenda can leave, Mrs. Cox. But Sarah's going to have to wait here, I'm afraid.
Why?
Social services, like I say.
And if they don't come? You're going to get the doctor to section her, aren't you? You want her back in hospital.
Well, I figured out which one was Garrett.
How?
Because he was the only one just sitting there and smiling. Well, he was smiling and saying nothing. So I told him I was arresting him, but he wouldn't stand up. He just sat there, half cut. And so he started giving me lip.
What did he do when you told him you were arresting him?
He said, "Stick it where your brains are, big boy." So, PC Loxton, Steve Loxton and myself, we took hold of an arm each and we tried to pull him out of the chair. But he just slipped. He slipped, he swung round and he banged his head on a sideboard or something.
Did he offer violence?
Well, how do you mean?
It was quite a simple question, Mr. Quinlan.
Well, he made himself limp. He made himself heavy to try to resist arrest.
Did Garrett offer you violence, necessitating the use of force in return? Or did he do no such thing?
He did not offer violence, sir.
No joy.
Oh, they'll send an approved social worker as soon as possible. But they know we've got care. As far as social services are concerned, the women are safe.
What about the divisional surgeon, Sarge?
Well, he could section her, get her back in hospital for a spell. But the social services might have some other options.
Like what?
A hostel? Sheltered housing for a couple of nights? The ASW could even let Sarah go home with her mates if she thought she was up to it.
Yeah, but we can't, can we?
Well, we could, Tony. But it'd be on our heads.
My head, Sarge.
Mrs. Cox wants a word, Tony. They want to go home.
Look, they know Garrett's trying it on. They just want to make sure you weren't up to any nasties.
I wasn't.
I know, and that is how it come across. You was telling the truth, right? Never a bad idea.
Yeah, well, if it gets me up before a disciplinary committee while that sleazebag gets off scot-free, then I'd call telling the truth a pretty bad idea, wouldn't you? Thank you very much, George Garfield.
You have no right to stop us.
I'm afraid I do.
The whole point of us being in the community is that we're treated the same as anyone else. The same. Would you arrest anyone else for having a house fire?
I haven't arrested Sarah.
Then where can't she go?
Keep in the lounge till my room's repaired.
That's not the point. I have to make sure you're taken under somebody's care.
She will be under our care.
I'm afraid that's not good enough, Mrs. Cox.
He's here, Tone. You'd like to come with me, Sarah?
It's all right, love. We're not going.
The doctor, right?
Look, my only concern is for Sarah's safety.
I trusted you.
She doesn't have her medication.
She's just had a serious accident. Now, I can't take the chance that she'll walk out of here and do herself an injury. That fire could have killed a lot of you this morning.
So could any fire. Mary. We have our rights like anyone else. And your only concern seems to be to get us swept out of sight and preferably out of our home.
Now, hang on a minute.
The fair thing to do is to get over to social services and drag a social worker over here by his hair. Make them do their job. They're the ones being negligent and you're abetting them. But that's it, isn't it? I mean, it's just not worth putting yourself out for loonies, is it?
Right, now, that's enough. I've already put myself out for you. Now, I'm acting only in Sarah's best interests. This is not the social services, and I'm not a counsellor. And you are no more or less special than any other member of the public. And that is how I have been treating you. So come off it, right?
Yes.
Good.
I probably just talked myself into a disciplinary offence, thanks to you. I have to say, Garrod was in my hands when he fell over and gave himself 6 stitches.
So why is it my fault?
Well, what do you think? How do I know what to say at the interview if I don't know what's in your statement?
You could try telling the truth, Dave.
I did tell the truth, Pratt. And that's why I'm probably going to have a disciplinary committee.
Not if it's anything to do with my statement.
Eh?
I told the truth too. He was legless and he slipped through your hands. You're not going to get disciplined for that. Look, I didn't show you the statement because you'd have wanted me to spice it up a bit, yeah? Gild the lily. I did you a favour, Dave. Made you tell the truth.
Excuse me, I've got a solicitor to see.
Mrs. Farmer, approved social worker. Come to take a look at Sarah McKenny.
Right, just a moment.
Right. I can take this one, Michelle. You're going to make someone very happy. Hang on there, Rick, can you?
So your last dose was over 48 hours ago. And it...
Sorry to bother you, Doc. I thought you might like to know the approved social workers arrived to see Sarah.
Right, thanks, Tony. Was there something else?
Yeah. I think Sarah would prefer to see this through with the social services. She doesn't want to get sectioned again if she can possibly help it.
I see. You're not telling me to go away, are you, Tony?
No, Doc, no, of course not.
Sorry to keep you, Mr. Quinlan.
No rush.
It'll just be me gathering the facts for now, which I'll pass on to our counsel. Cost of barristers being what it is.
Fair enough.
It does mean that I won't be able to tell you what counsel will recommend in this case. At least not for certain.
Right. What do you mean by recommend?
Or whether to fight the case, of course.
Eh? What, you mean we might not fight it?
Well, no. It would cost at least $20,000 to defend the case in court. More like 2 or 3 times that. And there's absolutely no guarantee of winning.
Hold on, look, he's a villain. He's just trying it on.
He may well be, but we're talking about the civil court. There's none of your beyond reasonable doubt in civil courts. Juries are instructed to decide on the balance of probabilities.
So
the jury will know that Garrod got 6 stitches.
But he fell over, he got those stitches himself.
Nevertheless, the jury will be told that you were holding him just before. All they have to be is 51% certain about which one of you is telling the truth. Would you bet £40,000 that a jury would believe you? People think policemen lie these days, you know.
Day visits to the Medical Health Resource Centre while we reassess her medication should be quite sufficient, I think.
Yes. Given her history, I think you're probably right.
So I can go home?
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Looks as if you're in good hands.
Of course she is, aren't you? We'll get the builders in as soon as we can. Thanks.
And look, the neighbours were getting pretty lippy. Might be an idea to keep an eye on things for a day or two.
I'll get the out-of-hours special worker to pop round tonight.
Great. I'll see you home if you like. Make sure you're in safely.
A bloke walks free for 2 crimes and I've got to watch him get paid for it.
Yeah, but it's not my decision.
I've wasted a whole day. I've wasted a whole day and I've picked up a complaint on my file. Just so's a villain can earn himself a couple of grand for falling over.
Look, it's a matter of economics.
Oh, no it isn't. No, it's not. It's much simpler than that. It's a matter of this. It's a matter of I'm a copper, he's a villain. I nick him, he gets off suspended. I get a complaint on my file, he gets given a couple of grand. If that's justice, you can shove it.
Don't worry.
I did, Brenda.
Oh, wait there, ladies, please. Come on, Mr. North, it's the police. Open up. Come on. Come on.
Look, it's okay.
Is there somewhere else you could take them, Mrs. Farmer?
No, we'll stay here. We'll stay here and we'll get it tidied up. We are not being driven out of this house.
Right. Well, I'll give you a hand till I get a shout. Sierra Oscar 595 receiving.
Go ahead, Tony.
George, it's Dave back here. All right. I was wondering how he got on the solicitors, you know.
Well, I don't know. Terrible, probably. I don't think he was in the mood.
Yeah, it was a woman solicitor too, apparently.
Make that terrible, definitely.
Tony, there's a woman at the front desk for you.
There's hope for us all, eh, George?
Yeah, some of us anyway.
Mrs. Wilson,
Yes, you're the one.
what can I do for you?
Well, you looked after the women in that house fire this morning, didn't you?
Yes,
The ex-patients.
that's right.
Well, I live opposite, and I like those women, and I didn't like what Ray North and that son of his did to their house this afternoon.
You saw them do it.
Yes, I did.
And will you make a statement?
I will.
You're a diamond.